Let's see. State Senator Nick DeSeglia is joining us right now on Florida's Voice. He's been quite busy, and some of what he's doing is awesome. I got to tell you, first of all, hey, it's great to see you. How are you?
I'm doing well, Drew. Good to see you, as always.
I love having you on because I know something good's going on. It's like a couple of... All right, so first of all, yeah, we have to just go to it. All right, so tell me about... this big, beautiful body of water that's not too far away from us as we speak right now, and some of your thoughts on what we should present here in the state of Florida.
You must be talking about the Gulf of America.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes.
Yeah, and by the way, if you go on Google Maps and you zoom into the central part of the Gulf of America, it says Gulf of America.
Yes, it does.
And so today I filed a bill that essentially... every mention of Gulf of Mexico in Florida statute and Florida law will now have to be Gulf of America. It's really kind of piggybacking on what President Trump laid out in his executive order back in January. And look, I think it's incredibly appropriate. It's patriotic. It puts America first. It kind of expresses the exceptionalism of this country. And it's my hope that, other coastal states, Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, that they also follow suit because we are now incredibly prideful to say, especially in Pinellas County, coastal communities, we know where I live, that we live in paradise along the coast of Gulf of America.
You know what's really interesting? I guess because of people I talk to, I talk to lefties basically, so the audience doesn't have to. Like I kind of get the vibe of what's going on. I watch the CNNs and the MSNBCs and do all of that. I take it, and it's funny because you'll have the conversation. The first conversation or little bits about something like this will be. Well, why? Why do you have to do this? And it's funny because when you mention Google, it's like, I don't know. Why don't you ask them? How about asking Google? They're doing it. So what about that? So when you take, what is their favorite places or what they believe are their safe spaces, I guess, and they're doing it too, but you don't ask the question of them, that is interesting in and of itself. Like, why are you freaking out about us when you're not saying a word about them? But truly, honestly, because somebody might say that to you. They probably did in Tallahassee. They're like, why? Why is this necessary?
Well, why not? Right? Why not? And by the way, if you live in Mexico, guess what? You open up your Google Maps and you zoom in, it's going to say Gulf of Mexico. So I think again that this is another. Another indication that President Trump is putting America first. To me, this is very patriotic. It's appropriate. You look at the geographics of the Gulf of America, and the United States touches that body of water more than any other country, more than Mexico. And so I think that when you think about it, I say to myself, how come we didn't do this a long time ago?
Yeah.
And so again, I just think it really it emphasizes the patriotism and the patriotic nature of our country that we all know has been lacking from many of our fellow residents these last several years. And I think this renewal of our patriotism and our love for our country and saying out loud that this country is exceptional is a wonderful thing. If you look at the Super Bowl, there was a lot of patriotic moments in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Now, it wasn't too long ago where, I turn on the game and I'm getting, lectured and I'm getting, commercials telling me how to think, what to say. I mean, this is all nonsense. And so this is a new day in America. The American people spoke in November. And I applaud and thank President Trump for leading in such an incredible way, not only in just naming this body of water, Gulf of America, but every initiative that he's rolled out. It puts America first. It says a statement. And the world is responding. And they're responding in a way that, in my opinion, is long overdue.
Right. Yeah, I guess if you take that big look, the over the top look of everything that's going on, and people are like, well, why do this? And Trump is, fill in the blank with some lefty here in the state of Florida who freaks out because that's what they do anyway. The biggest thing that I recognize and what you just mentioned, and I think it's going to be indicative of some of the things that we're going to see, probably what's going on even today in Tallahassee, is that It is a new day. People do respect us. People are listening to President Trump. They are looking. It's almost like they've been hungry for the kind of leadership that we have now. They've been waiting for this, almost as if, I don't want to say it's like permission, but it's almost like they've been waiting for the moment where they can go, yes, we agree. Before, for the past 4 years, we haven't been able to say the things we wanted to say out of fear of, and hey, fill in the blank with every kind of left-leaning ideology and everything else, or some way that they would quiet you down, or they would take something away, they would dox or whatever. And now people are like, yes, this is what we've always wanted, but now we have the opportunity to speak about what we've been feeling, not just in the country, but globally. Do you see what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I've been involved in politics for the last 15 years. I chair the Republican Party in Pinellas County. This election was the election that we've all been waiting for a long time. This is the election that Republicans have been waiting for. And I remember saying right after the election, on election night, when clearly, there was a mandate that was set by the American people for this new administration and our state legislature having a supermajority, was that Republicans now need to govern. In Washington, they need to hit the ground running. They cannot stop until the job is done. And that is exactly what the president has done. And you can tell during the transition between November and January 20th that, that transition, you could feel it ramping up. And man, have they hit the ground running. And that's exactly what the expectation of the American people is. And by the way, when you look at the things and the corruption that Elon Musk and President Trump are exposing right now, $59 million paid by FEMA to house illegal migrants in luxury hotels in New York City. Are you kidding me? And that's one thing. That's one thing.
Right.
The list is going on and on and on. And we're going to be exposing so much corruption that goes so deep. And it's amazing. It's time. It is long overdue. I get real charged up over it because you know what? Our country, we say every 4 years, this is the most important election of our lifetime. And it is every 4 years. But when you look at what's happening and you look at what President Trump is exposing, this election in November truly was the most important election of our lifetime. Because if we weren't successful in another 4 years of this corruption and this deep state and the bureaucracy controlling Americans, no telling where this country was going to ultimately end up.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen. And by God's grace and saving Donald Trump that day in Pennsylvania, where his life was saved, he's able to lead our country to a new day, new heights, a new vision, a new hope. I'm incredibly proud to be an American today.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, before we go, just kind of an overview. Like, how does it feel today? Being there in Tallahassee, in the mood, like what it's like right now.
It's good. I mean, it's been good. We have a disagreement with the governor on a very important issue of immigration. That's okay. That's how this process is supposed to work. The Senate president, Speaker of the House, the governor, they came together along with the Trump administration, figured out exactly how to craft a policy that's balanced, that everybody can live with. But all the most important thing here is that it addresses immigration in the state of Florida. It supports President Trump and his initiative to weed out illegal immigrants throughout our country. And by the way, the state of Florida, once again, is leading on a very important policy issue. You're going to see, as they are currently, you're going to see other states do things very similar to what we've done here. So, having debate and having disagreement is good. At the end of the day, we got to a place where, it was a win-win for both sides. We move on. We've got a lot of things to address in the legislature this coming session. I look forward to working with the governor and his team. And, we're going to continue making the state of Florida the freest and greatest state in this country.
Absolutely. All right. Always great to see you. I know you're busy. All the best. God bless. And we'll talk soon. Okay. Looking forward to it.
Take care, Drew.
All right. We'll see you soon. There he goes. That is State Senator Nick Nisegli.